The Game Awards just aired last night and wow, was it packed with good trailers.
We bet you have seen Series face on almost all your video recommendations. So if you haven't clicked on one of them yet, enjoy the video playing in the background.
But in this video, it's not about AAA single-player games, although we would love to venture out as two Witchers together.
That would be so awesome! But yes, this video is all about the co-op and multiplayer highlights from the show. And wow, there were so many!
Absolutely, I love the focus on co-op this year, but it made this list all the more challenging.
So without further ado, we bring you our top 10 co-op highlights from this year's Game Awards, with 3 honorable mentions at the end.
On number 10 we have got Splitgate 2, the successor to Splitgate, with more than 100,000 very positive reviews on Steam.
For those of you who have never heard of it, similar to the game Portal, you are equipped with a portal gun, which you combine with your normal gun to eliminate your enemies.
The game will be for up to 24 players, so pure chaos is guaranteed.
Aside from the portaling mechanics, there will also be a big variety of weapons that can be customized. Distinctive maps will offer different objective-based game modes. You can also pick one of 3 factions for now. Each is specialized in a different playstyle. Meridians, for example, are masters of technology, offering valuable abilities to support their team. Each faction has famous aces, so we expect this to be either skins or heroes, but that's just speculation. Let's just hope this is not any indicator of what's to come in any possible cash shop, since this will be free to play when it releases sometime next year. Number 9 is for our Divinity Original Sin and Baldur's Gate 3 fans out there. Solasta 2.
Exactly my thoughts, although it reminded me a little bit of Spellforce at first.
Maybe it will play out like a good combination of both, since it will be a mix of strategy and adventure RPG with some D&D elements.
We will have to wait and see. All we know by now is that it will launch into early access featuring online co-op to play side by side. As for the D&D elements, there will be a lot of dice rolling involved, and a ton of different classes to choose and combine. We will see if I manage to charm the end boss into giving all his treasures to my bard again. Story-wise, the second part will take place in a new distant land with a completely new roster of heroes. Sounds like a fresh start. Next up is Steel Hunters, as the 8th entry and second shooter on our list, again with some twists and turns.
That's right! Instead of strategic portal play, you crank the action up to 11 when you battle each other with a ton of different mechas.
In this PvPvE shooter, you will need to master special synergy mechanics if you want to come out on top.
Also, the maps will be huge and feature a lot of destructible environments. And it looks great, especially these wolf and bear type mecha. Steel Hunters is PC only for now, unfortunately, and it will be free to play when it releases. The exact date is not out yet, but right now until December 22nd, you can join the beta playtest on Steam to get a first impression. Steel Hunters is a duo team fighter in which you two are playing against 5 other enemy teams and also encounter various dynamic PvE events. You pick a hunter, each of them having unique abilities and a progression system. This is an extraction shooter, so you collect rare loot and then prepare for your victorious extraction or demise. Because only one team can take the win, of course. If you absolutely love cats, cozy games or both, our rank 7 will be perfect for you.
Catly must be the first time I've ever heard of a cat MMO, but here we are.
About time! In this game, you will play as both cat and cat owner and embark on playful escapades.
Embark? Really? It's meow, of course. But anyway, back to the trailer. Gameplay-wise, we can't be all too sure how this is going to play out. All the information we got so far point towards a mix of exploration, decoration, crafting and minigames. All we know for sure is that this will be 100% allergy-free. But what about all the dog people? Dogly when? If you are a fan of The Long Dark, buckle up, as number 6 on our list is right down your alley.
With the premise, live together, die alone, we already know what we're up to in The Long Dark 2 BLACKFROST.
The developers promised to evolve every aspect of the predecessor's survival formula to its 2.0 iteration. That's quite ambitious.
Indeed. But if they deliver, this will be so awesome. It reminded me a bit of The Last of Us 2. BLACKFROST is not going to release until 2026, but the prospect of finally playing this survival sandbox in co-op is so exciting. BLACKFROST will not just be another survival open world, but a full-on RPG, in which your survivor does not only try to not die from hazards, but have an actual will-to-live system, mixing in psychological elements such as resilience, doubts, and fear. On top of that, they will have their own customizable traits and skills. If survival with perma-death is not your thing, an innovative perma-life system allows to continue to advance even after death. If there was an award for the most creative trailer, our number 5 would have won it.
Absolutely, they even incorporated the whole Game Awards stage into the visuals of the original.
Yes, it was very creative, and so looks the gameplay. Stage Fright comes from the team behind the Overcooked series, but this game focuses on a 2-player split-screen co-op experience, online or in couch co-op. In this adventure, you play as Blake and Charlie, following a coming-of-age story that will lead you through escape room-style puzzles, different maps to explore, and more. The gameplay focus will be put on communication and teamwork, rather than challenging inputs.
We are getting closer to the top 3. 4th place is Dying Light, The Beast.
I am all here for Kyle Crane being the main protagonist again in this full-fledged standalone adventure.
Yes, that's awesome. We played the first 2 iterations quite a bit, and the parkour elements were really something.
According to the developers, this part sets an even bigger spotlight on co-op, so I'm hyped for sure.
Also, the visuals have improved again, and the sound design in the trailer alone is so good. Another highlight that I spotted in the trailer was the darkness. They brought back the pitch dark nights of the first one. I just loved the intense gameplay during these parts. This time around, you will also be able to use some beast-like powers gained through zombie DNA. Story-wise, this part will take place more than a decade after the first one, following your survival of numerous experiments and eventual escape from captivity. The world in the meantime has changed, but not for the better.
Number 3. Please be good, Borderlands 4.
Oh yes, all fingers crossed. I'm hoping for the humor of part 2 without whatever part 3 was.
The trailer already gives off a nice dark and sinister vibe, so this might be a real hit again.
Also, they did quite an upgrade on the visuals, if I'm not mistaken. It looks great. Story-wise, you will be playing one of 4 Vault Hunters while exploring a completely new planet, since Pandora kind of got destroyed a little. On that planet you not only fight the Timekeeper, but also deal with a world-altering catastrophe. Gameplay-wise, we can expect some new elements like grappling hooks and more fleshed out boss fights. The world will also be way bigger than in previous installments. I'm wondering if they will switch to a complete open world altogether. All that on top of the usual Borderlands formula, and as always in co-op for up to 4 people. The 2nd place. Oh yes, I've so hoped for this to happen. Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. A standalone adventure within the Elden Ring universe featuring 3-player co-op.
Oh no, now you will find out just how bad I am at soulslikes.
I already know, and I am not better, but that doesn't matter. Just look at it!
It does look awesome indeed. And what sounds even more awesome is that players will not only play as unique heroes, but that their skills and abilities will have unique synergies with their co-op teammates. What is that going to look like? Maybe a combo-based system like in classic JRPGs? Or more dynamic, such as the limit breaks in the modern Final Fantasy games? We will have to wait for more info on that, as not much details about gameplay or features have been published yet. What we know is that the boss designs look brilliant. My favorite being the 3-headed kitsune with one head flailing a chain around. And it's coming to PC and the consoles in 2025. This one will be an absolute hit of a co-op game. I guarantee it. A well-deserved first place on our list for Split Fiction.
Oh, absolutely. As the spiritual successor of It Takes Two, it has a lot to live up to. But since it's developed by the same studio, I'm very positive that this will be an enormous hit again.
The trailer alone got me so excited, I just can't wait to play it.
Well, we have to wait just 3 more months, but in the meantime, you can watch the trailer at 27th time.
Ha! Or we talk about the gameplay revealed in it instead. Just like the other Hazelight game, there will be a free Friends Pass again, which means only one copy of the game is needed, which costs around $50. This will support cross-platform online co-op and couch co-op, of course. You play as 2 writers, Mio and Zoe, who got pulled into one simulated world together, created by a machine designed to steal their creative ideas. There will be many different levels, alternating between sci-fi and fantasy, each with their own special mechanics. You will hatch and tame adorable dragons, fight cyber ninjas and robots, and play as 2 pigs which… wait, what's up with that barbecue grill? Anyway, this will be awesome.
I'm very certain we didn't promise too much when we said the Game Awards were just packed with highlights back to back.
There were indeed so many that we added not 2 but 3 honorable mentions, which also showed great potential, so let's get to it.
First off, Den of Wolves, a neat mix of Payday with visuals that reminded me a bit of Cyberpunk 2077. That said, it's also made by the studio of Payday, so this could turn out to be awesome. The developers tried to achieve some neat combinations by mixing stealth gameplay with action shootouts, spicing up the experience from one second to another. The session-based co-op heists will be designed so that you get something out of it, whether you got 20 minutes or 2 hours to play, which is a cool detail to focus on.
From cyberpunk to dinosaurs with Turok Origins. As is typical for the franchise, you face off against these prehistoric reptiles, but this time in co-op, and with an epic story, so they say. And as if dinosaurs weren't enough, there's also an alien threat seeking to destroy all human life in the galaxy. Players will have to use their entire arsenal of weapons to overcome this, including plasma rifles, ray guns, snipers, bows, and more. Special DNA powers can be unlocked by extracting DNA strands from fallen foes, which not only power you up but also change your look. The story missions will take players through jungles, ancient temples, and wasteland canyons packed with different species.
And lastly, Thick as Thieves. This multiplayer stealth game is set in a metropolis filled with magic. You try your best to rise up the ranks and become a master thief. A promising premise. You play against each other in a city that's constantly changing, thus keeping the challenge always fresh. Literally, as the developers set a big focus on replayability. The gameplay thereby not only centers around stealth, but also lockpicking, deception, hijacking alarms, and a lot more. All this while telling an in-depth story about the individual characters and the city itself.
And that's it for this year's Game Awards co-op highlights. We hope you are as excited as we are right now. Don't forget to co-op with your favorite people, and we will see you again in the next one.